obviously that's
think it is just that door.
I would suspect that there are other doors out there that aren't going to meet the required standard.
Okay, it's good talking to you, and thank you very much indeed. Ian McAwee, who's Chief Executive of the British Woodworking Federation. This is the trade body that represents and sets standards for fire door manufacturers. Just coming up to 5:30.
Now, if you handed over £4 for a cup of coffee that cost £2.32, would you instantly know how much change you'd be owed? A new study's shown that a third of adults in England and Northern Ireland struggle with basic maths, including working out the change due on a shopping trip. Why did we struggle so much, and why do so many of us struggle? Bobby Seagull was one of the star contestants on University Challenge last year, and is also a maths teacher who's trying to make it more accessible and fun to learn. Hello, Bobby.
Hello, how are you, Tony?
I'm good, yeah, it's good to speak to you, Bobby. Listen, why do we struggle at maths? We're all taught it. Is it something we think is going to be of little use to us practically if we're not a mathematician once we leave school?
Yeah, I think the problem is there's a sort of misconception that there's a maths brain and you can or can't do maths. So as a culture society, we think that if we can't do maths from our first experience, then we give up. And we think that we're not a maths person. I think from my experience, if you persevere, have effort, have teachers that believe in you, and make the subject as fun and relevant as possible, then there's a chance that you can actually be in the working world.
The thing is, Bobby, I guess, we're talking about mental arithmetic, aren't we? And I've got my phone in front of me now, and it's got a calculator on. So, is it a required skill these days?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, again, my students always tell me, sir, I've got a calculator. Surely I don't need to understand the math behind it. But I think as a human being, you need to know that you're not being shortchanged. You know, if you're going to the shop and you're getting a 10% discount, you should be able to work out these things in a rough sense. It's not being able to get things precisely correct, just having a number sense.
Yeah, so you're going to buy a cardigan and it says 20% off. Yeah, you need to know which ballpark. Listen, you've got a challenge for us, haven't you, Bobby?
Yes, I do, a little one. Shall I read it out for you?
Yes, my colleague Sarah's here with pen poised, ready to go. So take it away.
Okay, so here's your starter for 10. A smartphone is advertised as £400 after a 20% sale. What was the original price of the smartphone?
I don't know, but I know she's now reading the script to find the answer without even working it out. You've got it open in front of you.
You lost me at after a 20% sale.
So basically, what's 20% of 400? No, hang on. A smartphone's advertised as £400 after a 20%.
Yeah. That's where I just died there.
But that's not simple maths, Bobby. It is to you, an egghead like yourself, but that's not a simple sum, is it?
No, so again, it's meant to be a question that requires you to think a little bit more. Do you want me to give you a guidance towards?
Can I just say that our texters are brilliant? Three of them have got it already. Well done.
Yeah, and Richard makes your point for you as well. He says it's not mathematics, it's numeracy. Everybody needs it. Builders, carpenters, shopkeepers, everybody needs it.
Absolutely. I think as a teacher, much like it was about maths as well, maths is an underlying nature, but numeracy is something we use every single day, whether we're counting our tips at a restaurant or whether we're checking bills in a restaurant.
We've got to go in a minute, Bobby, but you've just given us the University Challenge question. Now give us the tipping point version. Give us another question, slightly easier.
Okay, a phone costs £400. If you have a 10% discount on that, what's the new price?
Oh, well.
Can we do this?
Yeah, well, I can do that. Is it? No, 10%. What's 10% of 400?
Yes.
So that's 360 quid is the answer.
10 points to you.
Oh.
Did you give the answer for the other one?
I should have gone 5 live lives. I should have done that first. The other answer was 500 quid, by the way.
Yes.
Perfect, that's right.
Bobby, along with your friend Mugman, you were legends on University Challenge, and it's great to speak to you.
Oh, perfect. Lovely to speak to you both.
Thanks, mate. Bye-bye. There he goes.
Look at this. Look at all the people getting this right on the text. Well done. But there is a nice text here which sort of plays into that whole thing. The social acceptance of not being capable of basic arithmetic. How many times have you light-heartedly said I'm rubbish at maths? Many times. You'd not say I can't really read, would you?
No. Matt in Sheffield says I'm a primary school teacher. We're already addressing the issue of the lack of understanding around maths. Many schools are adopting a mystery maths approach which aims to teach maths with a deeper understanding of the concepts. It's still new. It'll take a few years to see a real difference, but we will get there. Good. Right. Thank you very much for all your texts so far. Keep them coming in. We're enjoying them. 85058. Time to get to the news, though, now. It's just after 5:30.
on digital, online, smartphone and tablet. This is BBC 5 Live.
The main headlines. The leaders of France, Germany and the United States have joined Britain to blame Moscow for the poisoning in Salisbury. In a statement, they said there's no plausible alternative explanation for the nerve agent attack on a former Russian spy. Police investigators have found some doors for flats in Grenfell Tower could only resist fire for half as long as they were meant to. Experts say they were supposed to hold out for 30 minutes, but only lasted 15 in tests. A man's been told he'll serve at least 30 years in jail for stabbing a woman to death while she was working at an Aldi in North Yorkshire. Neville Hort pleaded guilty to the murder of Jodie Wilshire at Bradford Crown Court this morning. And Northamptonshire County Council says it accepts the findings of independent inspectors who've highlighted significant financial failings. A report says the authority should be scrapped and split into two unitary councils.
We're talking about maths. My English is much better. Matt in Sheffield, the teacher, just texted again furiously in capital letters. He says it's mastery maths, not mystery maths. I said mystery maths, which I thought was maybe to give you one of the numbers. So sorry about that, Matt. But it's the same mastery maths. Yes, good luck with that. Here's Sheffield.
No mysteries in the sport. Willie Mullins has become the most successful Cheltenham Festival winning trainer ever, with 2 more wins today. They included Penn Hill, a 12-to-1 shot in the featured Sunbet Stayers hurdle to make it 61 victories in the fixture over the years. Live to the track now, and our correspondent Cornelius Lyson.
In a highly competitive Stayers hurdle, Penn Hill stormed to victory over Super Sunday after an 11-month absence because of injury. The favourite Sam Spinner finished 5th. Penn Hill and Lorena gave Willie Mullins his 2 wins today. Both were ridden by jockey Paul Townend, who gave this reaction to 5 Live after Penn Hill's success.
Yeah, some training performance. It jumped rusty enough early on, but when I needed him at the last, he produced. Thanks for the quality stick.
Celebrations and amongst the Irish contingent here, because Irish trained horses have continued rampant. 6 more successes today. The final race is underway at the moment. 3 of them trained by Gordon Elliott, though the Ryanair chase went to the Henry de Bromhead stable with 8-to-1 shot. Balco de Floss, owned by the sponsor Michael O'Leary's Jigginstown House Stud racing operation, its first win in the race. The popular veteran Q Card was pulled up. His trainer Colin Tizard said a decision about his future is yet to be made.
Cornelius, thank you. Aaron Ramsey is the big name missing from Ryan Giggs' first Wales team for the China Cup starting next week. The Arsenal midfielder needs to have a small procedure during the international break, but is available for tonight's Europa League last 16 second leg tie against AC Milan. Ahead of the game, Arsene Wenger has admitted it's not the European competition he prefers to be in, but it is competitive.
To be in the Champions League and the Europa League, if you look at the teams who are in there, Vicine is very strong. Milan, Dortmund, Atletico Madrid, you have Aston, you have all the French teams, some good French teams, you have many good teams in there, and this competition is maybe Vicine of a higher level than ever.
We'll have updates of the game in 5 Live Sport time starts at 7. While another Arsenal player is making his first return to the England squad since 2016. Jack Wilshere has been recalled by Gareth Southgate for friendlies later this month. Danny Welbeck and Adam Lallana also return.
You know that they can have an impact on the squad list. Danny Welbeck's the top goal scorer with England in our squad, with Harry being out. So, he's got the pedigree with England, and the same with Jack and Adam.
4 uncapped players, including Burnley's Nick Pope and James Tarkowski, have also been named in the 27-man squad. The Football Association say they fined Pep Guardiola for wearing a yellow ribbon at Manchester City's FA Cup match with Wigan because they regarded it as an act of defiance in the face of repeated warnings. The manager accepted the FA charge for wearing a political message. England head coach Eddie Jones says the controversy over disparaging remarks he made about Wales and Ireland will not affect his preparation for Saturday's crucial Six Nations match against Ireland at Twickenham. Wales face France in their final match. Head coach Warren Gatland has brushed over Jones's comments.
He makes a few comments and stuff, and sort of thinks it to us and stuff, and those sort of things happen in discussions, so let Eddie take care of that in his own press conference.
And Tiger Woods is 1 shot behind the leader Jimmy Walker after his first round at the Arnold Palmer Invitational Golf in Florida. The 8-time former champion shot a 4-under par 68 at Bay Hill. England's Aston's Justin Rose is tied 4th after firing a 69. And that's the very latest from BBC Sport.
This is BBC 5 Live on digital, online, smartphone and tablet.
Sheldon, thank you. A look at the weather. Mainly cloudy across the north and east of the country for the rest of today, tonight and tomorrow, with rain and drizzle affecting many areas. Scattered showers in the south and west, some of them heavy and getting colder. Or know what's happening. Lots of delays going on at the moment. The M1 in Derbyshire, so 45-minute queues. Junction 25 at Nottingham to 24A at East Midlands Airport. Long delays. That's heading into the roadworks, and there was a roadblock set up as well to clear an accident. And long delays affecting the M25, mainly on the Clough side, heading towards the QE2 bridge, but the queues are back up to the M11 at Junction 27. That's because they're doing some more resurfacing. They've closed 2 more lanes at Junction 31. And I'll have a full update for you in 10 minutes' time.
This is BBC 5 Live, available on the BBC iPlayer radio app. 5 Live Drive with Tony Livesey and Sarah Brett.
Good evening if you're just joining us. And Egypt is sending a delegation from its foreign ministry to the UK following the death of a student in Nottingham. Mariam Mustafa, who was 18, died in hospital yesterday, more than 3 weeks after being attacked at a bus stop in the city centre. The police say they haven't found any evidence that the assault was motivated by hate, despite suggestions to the contrary in Egypt, where the case has been trending on social media. Mariam's sister Malak has paid this tribute.
She was amazing. Right now I feel like I've lost my other half. I don't know who to speak to about my sister. I feel like I can't cope without her anymore. Plus she was also so kind and she always wanted to help people out. So I don't know why would they do that to her. Why her?
Well, let's talk to 5 Live's Phil Mackey, who can tell us a bit more about this. Phil, firstly, what happened? How did Mariam die?
Well, on February the 20th, she was waiting at a bus stop outside a shopping centre in Nottingham city centre when she was approached by a group of women, some of whom were teenagers. According to her family, they say that before she died, she told them that they seemed to think she was someone else. They accused of her of criticising them, and that led to an altercation which led to physical violence. And she was attacked by this group of women. She tried to escape, but was followed onto the bus and severely beaten. The family also said in an impromptu news conference today that they were very critical of the way that she was treated in hospital. She was released but then deteriorated and had to go in. She was put in an induced coma and died yesterday. We also heard from the family who said that they have joint Egyptian and EU citizenship. They'd come to England to try to improve their lot. Both Malak, Mariam's sister, and Mariam were hoping to become engineers. Mariam was studying at college in Nottingham, and they say that as a result of what's happened, they've lost a lot of faith, not just in the health service here, but also in the whole system, because they don't feel that they've been treated as well as if they had been British citizens.
And Egypt is sending a delegation to the UK. What will happen with that?
Well, this seems to have happened as a result of the reports that emerged last night. Mariam died yesterday. The news of that was released last night. And by this morning, this story was trending in Egypt. There were allegations from lots of people over there that she had been attacked because she was a Muslim. There was a hashtag, Mariam's rights will not be lost, which was trending in Egypt today. Lots of people on social media criticising the British authorities for the way they were investigating the case. Also, the Egyptian embassy in London, they were criticising for not taking more of an interest. So today, probably under pressure, I think domestically, Egypt has said it's sending a delegation of MPs as well as human rights organisations. They will come to the UK later this week or early next week to see themselves what's happening with the investigation and talk to the authorities here.
And what is the latest with the police investigation here, Phil?
Well, there was a 17-year-old girl. She was arrested in connection with the attack a couple of weeks ago. This initial assault happened on the 20th of February and has been released on bail. She was arrested for suspicion of assault causing irreparable harm. Nottinghamshire police, under a lot of pressure because of all this social media activity today, released a statement saying that it's an active case. It's an ongoing investigation. They said that they have not found any evidence that the attack was motivated by hate, but said that they're keeping an open mind, and a post-mortem examination still has to take place to determine Mariam's cause of death. We've also had a statement from the bus company, Nottingham City Transport. They praised the driver who had tried to intervene, got in between the assailants and Mariam Mustafa in an attempt to try to stop the attack between her, and they've said that the CCTV from the bus has been provided to the police as part of their investigation.
Okay, thank you. Phil Mackey.
Now, woman in America has been sentenced to 6 months in prison for accidentally killing her boyfriend in a stunt that they hope will go viral on YouTube. Mona Lisa Perez was asked by her partner, Pedro Ruiz, to fire a gun from a foot away, believing that an encyclopedia he held in front of his chest would actually stop the bullet. Ms. Perez, a mother of two, later pleaded guilty to second-degree manslaughter. Ryan Loughlin is from the local news station, Valley News Live. He's been following the story. Hello, Ryan.
Hi.
Ryan, the first question is, what possessed them, I guess?
Well, I'm sorry, what was that?
What possessed them to even think this was a good idea in the first place?
Well, they had a YouTube channel and they wanted to attain fame. And it's pretty chilling when you go back and look at some of the old videos. They say, we're gonna do these risky things, and they even say we might do things that we might even die. And then it's sort of a joke, it's tongue-in-cheek, but they wanted to do stunts to achieve fame, to be YouTube famous. But obviously this one didn't go the way that they had anticipated.
You've spoken to Pedro's family, which is intriguing, because which way do they view the sentence? Did they want a harsher sentence for Mona Lisa, or did they believe that Pedro played a part in his own death?
They were overwhelmingly unsatisfied with the light sentence that she received. 6 months imprisonment, but really she's going to be doing 3 months before she's eligible for at-home monitoring system. They also allowed her to serve prison in her home state of South Dakota, and she's only going to serve 10 days at a time and then 10 days off, which is a usually light sentence for a manslaughter case. However, this is an unusual case. So by and large, Pedro's family not happy with the light sentence, but some mixed emotions. They say she's still family, they say they forgive her, but they say that she's the one responsible. She should have a more severe punishment.
And Ryan, this idea that they wanted to go viral, we're trying increasingly more dangerous things, were they getting revenue from that, or was it just a chance to try and be famous?
No, it was just to be famous, but the idea was eventually maybe have revenue. Interestingly, part of the terms of the sentence is the stunt that actually killed Pedro. Nobody's seen that video. I believe police have it, but part of the terms in the sentence was that she's not allowed to sell that video for profit. So that was one of the terms in the sentencing yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan, thanks for that.
Absolutely.
Ryan Loughlin there from the local news station, Valley News Live, on that bizarre case of the death of Pedro Ruiz. It's 5:45.
This is 5 Live Drive.
The main headlines: a number of world leaders have issued a joint statement blaming Russia for the poisoning in Salisbury. The US has imposed sanctions on 19 Russians over interference in the 2016 presidential election and alleged cyber attacks. A Northamptonshire County Council's leader has stepped down after a report suggested the troubled authority should be scrapped. All your travel news now on us here. Thanks, Sarah. The M62. So this is the accident which happened on the westbound side, Eccles interchange, junction 12 to junction 11 at Birchwood. The problem is the queues, they've stretched back onto the M60 and affected both directions. So backing up anti-clockwise to junction 15 at the M61 and clockwise queues back to 9 at Trafford Park. The M6 in Staffordshire heading south, 13 at Stafford South down to 12 at Gailey. A broken down car in one of the lanes. M40 and Warwickshire queues on the northbound side from 16 at Henley and Arden to the M42. It's only a breakdown, one lane closed, 15-minute delays there. M1 and in Derbyshire, be heading south is actually near Derby at junction 25, Nottingham and Derby to 24A at Derby, and that means slow traffic. That's where it was all held, but we never found out exactly what was happening. We thought it was an accident which had cleared. 20-minute delays there, and the M1 in Bedfordshire heading south, 13 to 12. The accident is on the hard shoulder, but there's still one lane closed on the main carriageway. That's why the queues are still backing up to junction 14 at Milton Keynes. Quite a bit going on the M11. Northbound, junction 7 at 1 to 8 in Bishop's Stortford. An accident means barrier repairs are still underway.